My last meeting at Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our Commissioners Board meeting for October the 17th. We are broadcasting via Microsoft Teams live event. We're also in person, but also broadcasting on BCTV, as well as Berks County's Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We'll call the meeting to order with a moment of silence followed by a pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll recognize Barbara Lopez, Executive Assistant to Commissioner Rivera, to read the public comment policy.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Barbara. At this time, we have a special presentation. It's something we look forward to every single year. And I will recognize Jay Ostrich. He's the director of the Berks County Department of Veterans Affairs. And he's going to be presenting the 2024 Berks County Military Hall of Fame nominees. Jay.
Good morning, Commissioners, senior staff, and leaders. I am absolutely privileged to be here this morning. We actually have two small agenda items. First one is to actually introduce a great program here in Berks County. And I am absolutely privileged to introduce you to a great leader, a great veteran here in Berks County. It's Major Gerald New. He is the senior Army instructor for Wilson High School junior ROTC program, and he will be introducing his cadets who will be talking to us about the Veterans Dinner Dance coming up here before our Veterans Day. So with no further ado, a great friend to Berks County Veterans Affairs, Major Gerald New.
Thanks, Jay. Commissioner Santora, Leinbach, Rivera, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. As we know, we enter into the fall months, and along that with comes Veterans Day. It's an important time for us to take time to recognize our veterans and also current members of the military who serve us every day with pride and distinction. As a way to show our appreciation to Berks County veterans and citizens who served our community and continue to serve our country, the Wilson School District proudly, in concert with the Wilson Junior ROTC, hosts the annual Berks County Veterans Appreciation Dinner Dance. I'll let the cadets over here tell you about the dinner dance whenever it's their time to expect, what for a night to expect, and what to do that evening when you arrive, and where to buy tickets and those type of details. So before turning over the microphone to my cadets, I'd also like to thank the Penske Corporation, Enersys, Asher's Chocolate, Zerby Photography, Sweet Streets Desserts, and PepsiCo for the years of service and dedication and donations to the program for making it such a successful night. There's other businesses who donate prize packages and gift baskets as well, so we appreciate those as well, so veterans can walk out the evening with something for that night. But the more reason why they show up is the camaraderie and the ability to meet new cadets, and the cadets to share their stories with them and vice versa. That's really the focus of the night, and that's kind of what makes it a special, unique evening. Last year we hosted about 680 veterans at the dance, and it was a tremendous success, and I think everybody enjoyed their night. I know the kids really smiled on their face. They were motivated. They really enjoyed it. Every year we get to it, they're tired and exhausted, but the next question, the next Monday we get back in classes, can we do it again next year? We can't wait to do it. And that really speaks a lot about their character and also how much they take pride in knowing and meeting the veterans of our community, which I take pride in. So we look forward to seeing everybody November 9th at 4 p.m. at the Wilson High School auditorium, or excuse me, the gym, and I'll be followed by Cadet Emily Albert, our battalion commander.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for allowing us to speak today. So as Major New had said, my name is Emily Albert. I'm the Cadet Lieutenant Colonel for Wilson Army Junior ROTC. I'm the battalion commander, and it's my 4th year now working at the Veterans Appreciation Dinner Dance. It really is such a beautiful event. I am so honored every single year to see all these amazing veterans come out and just, enjoy each other's company and to be able to be honored by the community. And I'm very fortunate to have our school hold this amazing event. And I am also very honored to have such an amazing staff behind me this year. And on that note, I want to introduce our Cadet Major, our Executive Officer, Cadet Alcantara.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
As you said, my name is Eliana Alcantara. I'm the Executive Officer for our Wilson Army JROTC. And I'd first like to thank you all for allowing me to speak today. I'd like to tell you a little bit why this event is such an important part of my time here at Wilson High School. This is my 4th year doing this, and the past 3 years that I've gotten to be a part of it, I've gotten to see a little bit more and more of what goes into it. And now that I have such a big part in planning it, I can really come to appreciate how much this carries in the extremity of this event. And I can say that I count myself very lucky to be part of this event. And I'm very proud to say that I had a big part in planning it, knowing that I have left such an important impact on my community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anirudh Sharma, and I am a cadet major and the S3 for Wilson High School's JROTC program. I'd like to thank the committee for having us here today, and I would just wanted to speak a little about the events of the night. For the night, due to some construction at our school, we will actually have a new entrance, which will be at the bottom of the gym around the event entrance, the big roll-up doors. We'll have cadets posted there to help greet the veterans and bring them inside. Also, during the night, there'll be lots of wonderful things. We'll have a formal session. We will have time to dance and food, of course. This event is an amazing opportunity, and I'm so glad that I have the ability to work on it and work with these amazing people. And that's really it. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back to Cadet Albert.
Thank you, Cadet Sharma. The last thing I want to speak on is the tickets. So you can find tickets in our lower house office in our Wilson High School. In the lower house, it is only check or cash, no credit card. And the tickets are also found in Boscov's at the mall. You can pay with card there, of course. But it's $20. It really is such an amazing event. So we urge everyone to go, all the veterans, family members, everything like that. Again, thank you all so much for having us here today and allowing us to speak. I want to give off the microphone to Mr. Jay Ostrich.
Commissioners, when speaking of our veterans, we often hear the phrase, freedom is not free. In fact, it comes at a tremendous cost. It's a cost that most Americans can't even comprehend. But thankfully, before America was even the United States of America, Berks County was already sending men and women to fight and secure our liberties. In appreciation and dedication to that sacrifice that our ancestors have made, Berks County veterans continue to lead the way both in their combat actions and their actions in our community. And I am privileged to stand before you and offer nominations for induction into what we call our Berks County Military Hall of Fame. The Berks County Board of Commissioners established this Hall of Fame in 2009 to recognize men and women from Berks County who distinguished themselves through valor in combat or distinguished themselves through extraordinary, unique, and special achievement that advanced the cause of freedom or significantly improved the lives of our Berks County veterans. Last week, it was absolutely my privilege to convene a board of 6 county veterans with more than 100 years of uniform military service to consider 8 packages for induction and nomination to the Board of Commissioners for our Hall of Fame. Today is my distinctive pleasure and privilege to bring to you their recommendations for 5 nominations for you to consider and vote upon for induction into the Hall of Fame. For that introduction, I'll read some excerpts from their distinguished service and heroism. If they are approved, I respectfully request that their names be included in the County of Berks's official history. They will also be honored for Veterans Day this year at the Berks County Veterans Appreciation Dinner, which we've talked about, and dance held at Wilson High School on Saturday, November 9th. Our first nominee is Major Daniel C. Fair, United States Air Force. He is a Silver Star Award recipient. Then a captain, Daniel C. Fair distinguished himself by extraordinary achievement while participating in aerial flight as an EF-111A electronics warfare officer during combat operations against the Republic of Iraq, 18 January 1991. On this date, Captain Fair flew his EF-111 in support of F-16s who were striking targets on the outskirts of Baghdad. After establishing his electronic jamming orbit, Captain Fair successfully eluded enemy aircraft on 2 occasions. After both instances, he reestablished his jamming orbit to provide the much-needed suppression of enemy early warning, ground-controlled intercept, and terminal threat radars. The professional competence, aerial skill, and devotion to duty displayed by Captain Fair reflected great credit upon himself in the United States Air Force. For his heroism, he was awarded a Silver Star and a Distinguished Flying Cross. Our second nominee is Specialist Fourth Class Glenn B. Flager, United States Army, Bronze Star with V device. Private First Class Flager was serving as a forward observer on reconnaissance and force operation 4 kilometers south of Phu Loy, Vietnam, just north of Saigon. The lead element of his team was subjected to very heavy small arms fire, automatic weapons, and machine gun fire. Noticing that some of his comrades had been wounded, PFC Flager maneuvered to reach his fellow soldiers. Upon arrival, he laid down supporting fire as they were evacuated. After all the soldiers had been removed, though, he returned to the forward area where, without regard to his personal safety, under withering fire, he removed a mortally wounded comrade. His act of dauntless courage was responsible for saving the lives of several soldiers that day. PFC Flager also received the Army Commendation for similar actions later in his tour. His medals and ribbons and awards include a Bronze Star with V device, an Army Commendation Medal with V device, a Purple Heart, National Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry with a Palm, Vietnam Campaign Medal, and Vietnam Service Medal. Our third nominee is Technical Sergeant Stephen C. Mace, U.S. Army, Silver Star. Technical Sergeant Stephen C. Mace was awarded the Silver Star for gallantry in action against the Germans in February 1945. During an attack on Oberskirchen, Germany, Technical Sergeant Mace captured a pillbox by throwing a hand grenade through a very narrow aperture and rushing inside to capture 13 Germans. Later, during the counterattack, he exposed himself to severe enemy fire to direct artillery fire, which broke the assaulting force momentum, killing 36 enemy troops. His resourcefulness and courage displayed exemplify the highest traditions of the armed forces in the United States. Medals and ribbons include a Silver Star, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, European, African, Middle Eastern Service Medal with 4 Bronze Stars, and a Good Conduct Medal. Our fourth nominee is Sergeant David W. Wilson, U.S. Army, Silver Star. Sergeant Wilson distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct on 1 April 1945 in the vicinity of Spangenberg, Germany. To maintain radio communication during the attack on heavily defended town, Sergeant Wilson heroically exposed himself and his vehicle to intense enemy fire. His determination and courage used to efficiently perform his duties was at great risk to his own life and in keeping with the finest traditions of our military service. Medals and ribbons include a Silver Star, Bronze Star with 1 oak leaf cluster, Purple Heart Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster, Good Conduct Medal, European, African, Middle Eastern Service Medal with 5 bronze stars. Our 5th nominee is Fire Control Technician 3, Michael J. Brady, U.S. Navy, and this is for extraordinary community achievement. Michael Brady entered service through Navy basic training in Bainbridge, Maryland. Upon completion of his basic training, he was assigned to serve aboard the USS Boston, based in Norfolk, Virginia. He was tasked to maintain the electronics for the Terrier guided missile system. During his time with Boston, he was deployed to the Middle East in support of Beirut, Lebanon crisis, and a mission to South America. He left the Navy in 1959, but that's only the beginning of his story. In 1959, after relocating to Port Clinton, Pennsylvania, he served his community as volunteer fire chief. He refused his salary and redirected the funds towards the purchase of a new fire truck there. In 1967, he relocated to Leesport, where he continued his community support by serving as the volunteer crew chief for the local ambulance, and he also taught first aid there. From 2002 until 2010, Michael served as the commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 6150, where he helped start the Make-A-Wish dance, which raised more than $100,000 for children with critical and terminal illness. His most impactful contribution was to the restoration of more than 4,000 veteran tombstones here in Berks County. The restoration efforts were at his own expense. For these efforts, he was awarded the prestigious Four Chaplains Legion of Honor Award, and his selfless service to our country, our Commonwealth, our county, and our communities epitomize the intent of our Special Achievement Wing of the Hall of Fame. His medals and ribbons and awards include the Expeditionary Medal and the Four Chaplains Legion of Honor Award. Commissioners, before us are 5 very deserving, heroic Berks County veterans who place service to their county, Commonwealth, and country first. Selfless service is what this award is all about, and I humbly submit these 5 nominations for induction into the Berks County Hall of Fame to you, and respectfully stand here for your questions, comments, remarks, and of course your votes to ratify.
I suggest we begin with the will of the board regarding the nominees presented today.
I would be honored to make a motion to induct the 5 veterans presented today, to induct them into the Berks County Military Hall of Fame.
And I would be honored to second it.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Not about the inductees, but I just want to thank Jay and the Veterans Affairs Office for the work they do, and also thank all the veterans for the work that they've done and for the willingness to serve our country. So thank you for your work, for putting this together year after year. I've been to all of these actually since I got elected. I remember I went to the first one as commissioner-elect. Unfortunately, this year I will be out of town the weekend of the 9th of November, so I won't be able to be there. Didn't know about it when I made my commitment to be out of town, but so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chairman, just very quickly, thank you, Jay, for leading this, and heroes are what these men are, continue to be, and words can't really express the thanks that we could provide to them. But I just want to thank you and thank them for their hero, for being a hero, and for the great work. And as you said, freedom isn't free, and it's very important to note. Sometimes we take it for granted, and we shouldn't. So thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Jay. I'm always amazed the stories. And I think the names are important, but I think it's so important for the public to hear the names connected to the story, their story, because it's what they've been willing to do in sacrifice and risk of their own life that allows us to be here today as free people. Very, very powerful. I would add to this, the first 3 years of Commissioner Barnhart and myself in office played a significant role here. January of 2008, Sharon Coons hosted at her own expense, she's no longer with us, a Veterans Appreciation Luncheon at the River Edge. She actually, I found out afterwards because I attended, she had me speak. I found out afterwards from her, she put a mortgage on her home. Her husband had died several years ago. He was a veteran, and she wanted to do something for veterans. She didn't come to the county to do it. She didn't go to other people. She did it herself. And I don't remember, but I believe she was in her late 60s when she did this. And there were 400 plus people at that luncheon. Go forward to 2009. Then Commissioner Kevin Barnhart, along with, I believe, Larry Cohen.
Yes. And Janice King.
And Janice Kinkinger came up with the concept of having a Berks County Military Hall of Fame. And that was the first year that it was established. Kevin, congratulations. Obviously, you had the full support of your fellow commissioners. And then it was, Sharon Coons wanted to do another event in 2009. We couldn't pull it off, but this Veterans Appreciation Dinner Dance began in 2010 and has gone every year since, except I believe it didn't occur in 2020 due to the pandemic. Somewhere, and I don't know the date, we went from just simply having a presentation here at a commissioners meeting for the Hall of Fame. I believe it was under Dale Durr that it may have changed, where we moved that to become part, and I would say a centerpiece of the Veterans Appreciation Dinner Dance, so that those individuals, and in some case, if they're being recognized posthumously, either a family member or in some cases, the individual that put the application in on their behalf are recognized. And you have 700 to 900 people hearing those stories told again. Often there's photographs and the like. So I'm really proud of what Berks County does for its veterans. And these two programs, while they started separately, have merged into one, and it's a real celebration of the men and women. And we have women in the Berks County Military Hall of Fame as well. So, any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you very much,
Thank you, commissioners.
Okay, are there any additions or corrections for the October 10th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We did have an executive session on October the 16th dealing with personnel and litigation. I believe that was it. What's that? And security. Personnel, litigation, and security. Is there any public comment on specific agenda items? And nothing online? Let me, wait a minute. Nothing online. Okay, we will move forward with our agenda. And item 1, authorizing under that budget department, adopt a resolution authorizing 2024 budget transfers in the amount of $1,208,833 and 2024 appropriations in the amount of $5,150 per listing dated October the 11th of 2024. Under Human Resources, adopt a resolution authorizing Jessica Weekneck, Chief Human Resource Officer, and the County of Berks Human Resources Department to take all necessary steps to implement the following changes to Berks County Employee Benefits Plan, provided that the vendor contracts shall require approval by the Board of Commissioners, subject to final review and approval of the contractual language by the Berks County Solicitor's Office. Item 1, change in the prescription drug formulary from CVS Caremark Standard Opt-out to CVS Caremark Standard Control. And 2, implement Prudent RX program to leverage available manufacturer assistance subsidies for higher cost drugs. Just will note that with these changes, the county could recognize anywhere from $700,000 to in excess of $1 million in savings. If you want more details, touch base with one of the commissioners afterwards. I have one item listed under my name, adopt a resolution authorizing the reappointment of Charles Mowbray, Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, to the Berks County Solid Waste Authority Board of Directors for a 5-year term expiring on December 31st, 2029. There are several items listed under the commissioners. Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing Brian Gottschall, Berks County Director of Emergency Services, to execute change orders not exceeding the amount of $25,000 in aggregate to Dolan Construction Agreement concerning maintenance and repairs to the physical facilities at the Berks County Fire Training Center. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the Board of Commissioners to execute the Mental Health Intellectual Disabilities Compensation Plan for fiscal year 2024 through the Bureau of Financial Management and Administration for state funding received for mental health, intellectual disability, and early intervention. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing Robert Patrizio Jr., Chief Financial Officer, to execute the applications for the county's excess worker compensation policy renewal with Arch Insurance for the policy period of January 1, 2025 through January 1, 2026. Item 2, a motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated October the 11th. There are a total of 12 contracts, 1 jointly with adult probation and the district attorney, 1 with Berksheim, 1 with Children and Youth Services, 3 with the Department of Emergency Services, 3 with Human Resources, 1 with the Berks County Jail, 1 with the MDJs, and 1 with Parks and Rec. Item 3, a motion to authorize execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending October the 18th, 2024. And item 4, a motion to authorize execution of employee payroll disbursements dated October 22nd of 2024.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. With that, we will move on to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our Berks County Treasurer, Mitch Darcourt, with the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebaugh. Today, we have an opening balance of $250,266,936.91. We have a balance to clear of $7,808,456.87, leaving us with a balance of $242,458,480.04. Thank you, Commissioner. That is all.
Thank you, Mitch. And we'll move now to our County Controller, Joe Rutterow, with the Controller's Report. Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the week ending 10/17/2024, there will be a total cash disbursement of $6,395,016.11. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll move now to our Chief Operations Officer, Kevin Barnhart.
Thank you, Commissioner Lineback. Our team is proud to announce the 5th edition of Berks First Magazine. Compliments of our public relations officer pulling together many of the articles and our departments working hand in glove with Jonathan Heitzman to produce this magazine that goes out to well over 80,000 households in Berks County. And it is paid for primarily by the ads in the magazine, pays for the printing, and the county pays for the postage. Just want to make sure you're aware of that. Some of the articles that are very interesting in here, it just keeps getting better and better. How do you imagine Berks as an economic development article? County 101, we do every publication. It's on archives. What is archives all about? Very significant articles on first-time homelessness in Berks County. There are several stories being told by homeless people in our community. Department of Agriculture programs and events. Union Canal lock restoration, which is the cover photo. VA office relocation. Bridging Berks County, story about several of our bridges and why we own bridges. The newly reopened youth shelter program and what that's all about. Vote 2024, make a plan for the big day. A Register of Wills overview. Very, very interesting what the Register of Wills does. Genealogy and language courses. Berks Alert, how you can sign up for and utilize Berks Alert. Claiming unclaimed property, that should be a good one for everyone who has unclaimed property. Municipal news, which we include any township or borough would like to add anything to the magazine. We do that free for them. And career opportunities with the County of Berks. So a lot in 36 pages. If it doesn't come to your house, let us know by email. We'll get you on the next mailing list to make sure that it gets out to your home. But this is really, really a lot of information contained in this document. It'll last a while with the information in here. Again, trying to put out as many articles as we can with respect to what the county really does and the operation of county government. Most people don't know all of the things that take place here. It's also available online on our website. So if you don't get a copy and you don't like hard copies, it's certainly available on the county website. Thank you so much. And again, to Jonathan and all your help. Our team kind of does an editor. We're the editorial board. We read it 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Along with Commissioner Rivera, and his team also goes through the Spanish articles and the Spanish version. So a lot, it's amazing how much goes into putting together a magazine, but we've learned firsthand over the last 5 editions. So thank you, commissioners.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. With that, we will move to reports from the commissioners, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Lineback. A few items. October is National Bullying Prevention Month. The consequences of bullying are known to be lower self-esteem, depression, and physical and emotional scars that too often result in suicide. And all of this is preventable. A few weeks ago, while we were celebrating National Suicide Prevention Month, I had mentioned, I believe it was kids between the ages of 10 and 14. The second leading cause of death for kids in that age is suicide. And that was next to accidents. So can you imagine what those kids must be going through to commit suicide at that young age? So helping to prevent bullying, that's something that all of us can play a part in. So please, if you see something, if you see something, please say something. We want to make sure that people are not being bullied. And you know what? A lot of times we look at bullying happening to kids. It just doesn't happen to kids. Happens to adults as well. There are people who are bullies and try to bully others around, and that should not be acceptable. And we need to speak up when we do see bullying that is happening. So take some time and read. There's at stopbullying.gov. There's information there for you to be able to read more on that. October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And this past Monday, Safe Berks held their silent witness march and dedication, which they went from Safe Berks, they walked through the city and ended at RAC, and they carried silhouettes, and each of those silhouettes represented someone who died based on domestic violence. And then there was a ceremony at RAC to talk about that and bring the awareness about domestic violence as well. So something we want to make sure that we're looking out for as well. Violence, again, many times we think it's something that happens to women, but it can happen to men as well. People of all ages, any ethnic background, that doesn't matter. So please let's all do our part as well in preventing bullying and domestic violence as well, and speak up if we do see something. Last night, all three of us had the opportunity to go to Hamburg to have our monthly town hall. Had a good turnout. I think we had about 18 people there. Spoke about many different topics. These town halls are held each month at a different location throughout the county. Each one of us has 5 to 10 minutes. We speak on different topics. Then we open it up to the people that are there, really for any questions that they may have around county government. Sometimes it goes beyond county government, but we're there to listen because of our relationship with state and federal legislators as well. We want to listen to what the concerns are to be able to bring those up as well. But a good turnout, so appreciate everyone that went. Also want to thank the Berks County Library System and Stephanie. This was something that we used to do, would find different locations in the municipalities to hold them. And at one point last year, Stephanie said, well, why don't we hold these at the libraries? And it would serve two purposes. One, we would have a location which we could hold it at every month. And we'd also be able to open up the libraries for the people that live in the area to learn about the libraries and the many things that the libraries offer. Fortunately, last night we were not able to hold it at the library because there's construction work that is being held there, but we held it across the parking lot there at the Hamburg Borough Hall. So be on the lookout. We will have one in November. We will not have one in December, but they're coming to a town close to you. Also, yesterday we had the visit from the Netherlands Embassy. They wanted to learn more about Berks County, about Berks County economy, what makes Berks County so great. All three of us had the opportunity to meet with them together with Pam Mennett, our Director of Community and Economic Development. They learned about Berks County. We learned about the Netherlands and made some new friends yesterday. And my last items is just want to give an update on elections. Want to remind everyone that the deadline for mail-in ballots request is October the 29th. So please, if you want to vote by mail-in, but you have not done so, if you have not requested the ballot, please do as soon as possible. Although the deadline is October the 29th, I urge you not to wait till the 29th and to do it as early as possible. As of yesterday, there were 39,336 ballots mailed, and there's another batch going out today. So far, we've received a little over 16,000 of those 39,000 ballots returned. Also want to remind everyone that over-the-counter voting is available from 8 to 5 p.m. at the office. Do not request a mail-in ballot online. If you're going to come into the elections department to do that, to vote over-the-counter, come in. They'll give you the mail-in ballot application there. You fill it out there, you return it. They'll print out your ballot with the envelopes. You fill it out right there, put it in the envelopes, and return it back to them. One other item I want to talk about elections is heard that this past Monday, while the county was closed, there was someone standing out front here talking to people that were bringing in their ballots, letting them know that the county was closed, but that they would take their mail-in ballot for them and make sure that we receive them. First of all, the person who did that, hopefully we can recognize them and have some conversation with them, because that is, first of all, it's illegal because you can't harvest ballots in Pennsylvania. It's also something you shouldn't be doing. But if anyone does come up to you and say, I'll take your ballot for you, I'll make sure that election services get it, that's a big no. You can only hand in your own ballot if you have to bring in your spouses or anyone else in your household because they are incapacitated and cannot bring it in. There's a declaration that you can fill out to hand in with the ballot, but you should not give your ballot to anyone else. And if you do see anyone requesting ballots, please let them know that they're not supposed to be doing that, and let our office know as soon as possible as well. And we will be having our election board meeting today at 11 a.m. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. Commissioner Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few things. Just want to recognize some organizations that I had the opportunity and the pleasure of attending events in the past week. As I mentioned last week, I was going to the Berks School Helping Harvest Fresh Food Bank dinner that was last Thursday night at the DoubleTree. It was well-attended event, over 400 people, and they just focused on what they provide, the services that they provide throughout not just Berks, but also Schuylkill County, the thousands of individuals that they serve who struggle daily with food insecurity. And I want to thank them for that. They had messages of gratitude for all their volunteers, their food distribution partners, and their event sponsors. Jim Bosco, who's chairman of our city, Reading, provided a informative and exciting message regarding the progress of the Helping Harvest Community Kitchen, which is being built in downtown Reading at the Goggle Works. Construction is underway. The grand opening is targeted for early next year. I'm sure there'll be more coming out about that, but it's an opportunity to provide more services to the people of our community. So I want to give that group a little bit of a shout out. On Monday, I also had the privilege of attending an event at Exeter High School. It was widely reported in the newspaper. A gentleman by the name of Max Shackner, whose son was murdered at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, was there to speak, and he lost his son Alex, and it was a wonderful event. I don't know if wonderful is the right word, but it was very emotional and event that really demonstrated the need for school safety, and he has made it a mission of his to travel around the country advocating school safety and a lot of the things that should be happening, coordination between law enforcement and our schools. And he gave a very emotional, he brought us moment to moment of what happened that day. And the young gentleman that got the gun purchased by his mother, was given to him when he was 18, brought that into the school and promptly murdered 17 people, 14 students, 3 teachers, and injured 17 others. And Mr. Shackner's mission in life is to make sure that he goes around, advocates for school safety, coordination, again, between schools and law enforcement, and a very important and timely issue, of course, with the issue of school safety. So that was a wonderful event at Exeter. Commissioner Rivera talked about our meeting yesterday with a delegation from the Netherlands. Just a couple statistics that I thought I wasn't aware of. I don't think most people are, but there's $5.2 billion worth of Dutch investments just here in our Commonwealth, 70,000 American jobs in the Commonwealth supported by Dutch-U.S. trade. And there are 268,000 Americans of Dutch descent in the Commonwealth. So I thought we had a great meeting. I know that they also expressed some interest at the end when we had some conversation with one of the gentlemen with regards to mushrooms. The mushroom industry in Pennsylvania, of course, is large. It's what my grandparents and parents were involved in, and they apparently have some of that over there in the Netherlands. So hopefully we can work together and maybe get some things going between Berks County and the Netherlands in the mushroom industry. Commissioner Rivera, the town hall, as Commissioner Rivera reported up in Hamburg, I thought went well. We talked about a number of different issues, varied issues of parks. We talked about road issues, and we talked about, of course, elections. So it was a very good discussion that we had. Our final meeting is for the 2024 is next month. It'll be at the Wyomissing Library at 6:30 to 8, and that's on November the 13th. And that'll be our final one for 2024. The only other thing I want to mention is I'll be attending the Berks County Association of Township Officials Convention tonight at the Ole Fair. And they, of course, it's important that we recognize the great work that our township officials do at the local level, where the rubber meets the road, if you will. So I'll be attending of that, and maybe I'll give a report next week as to what we learned at that meeting. So with that, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Santoni. I'm not going to go over some of the same things that my colleagues covered. I do want to share my screen. This coming Saturday, the Reading Regional Airport will be hosting its 3rd annual Reading Aviation Career Expo. Year one, 3 years ago, we had 500 attendees. Last year, we had between 1,500 and 1,700 attendees. This year, we're hoping for that amount or even more. The purpose is to promote careers in aviation. There are colleges and universities there that have programs in aviation. There are a number of different aviation-related businesses that will be there. Two new ones that are going to be there. One is Westar Aviation, and they provide aviation maintenance services in different airports. And another first-timer is Republic Airways. Republic Airways is a regional commercial airline, and we're pretty excited that they approached us. And yes, they are talking to us about possible commercial air service at the Reading Regional Airport. Another new sponsor is NetJets. They are not going to be there per se, but NetJets is the largest fractional ownership aviation company in the world. So their customers buy a portion of a plane, and those planes range from 6-seat jets to 737, what they call their global line. So we're very excited to have them, along with a number of the other sponsors from the past. The types of jobs that various participants are looking for: pilots, technicians. The FAA is there. They're looking for air traffic controllers. Airlines are represented. They're looking for everything: maintenance, flight attendants, pilots. So it's a great opportunity. I really appreciate the work that Zach Tempesco and his team, along with our new marketing and events coordinator, Kylie Kaufman. I believe so, right? Yes, Kylie Kaufman has been really working to promote this event. So it starts at 9 a.m. It goes to 4 p.m. There's no cost. It's free admission. There is a registration because we want to track the people that are attending. Also, another date that I want to promote, if I can bring it up. There we go. Is the Liberty Tree planting. I think many of you are aware that we are involved with America 250 through Pennsylvania, which is America 250 PA, and that is in preparation for the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. I have some people from time to time that have said to me, you put too much emphasis on the Declaration of Independence. The Constitution is where the focus needs to be. Let me tell you, if there's no Declaration, there's no Constitution. The Declaration is the birth certificate. It announces why we separated from England. The Liberty Tree program is through the America 250 PA, but it is sponsored by the Pennsylvania Freemasons. And I don't know that you can read this, but I'm going to give you a little bit of history. During the American Revolutionary War, the Sons of Liberty often convened under the nation's original Liberty Tree in Boston to discuss their opposition to British rule in the colonies. This historic tree became a beacon of hope to colonists and a symbol of American freedom. In an attempt to stymie these colonists, the British destroyed the Boston's Liberty Tree. Suddenly, patriots throughout the 13 colonies began to designate new Liberty Trees. The last known original Liberty Tree sat on the campus of St. John's University in Maryland until it was destroyed by Hurricane Floyd in 1999. Today, seeds from a scion of the original tree are being collected, grown into seedlings, and planted across the Commonwealth. Generously sponsored by and in partnership with the Pennsylvania Freemasons, America 250 PA Liberty Tree Project includes a certified Liberty tree planted in each of Pennsylvania's 67 counties beginning in the fall of 2021 through 2026. We will be having a special event that will be taking place on Saturday, October the 26th at 2 p.m. at the Berks County Heritage Center. This is right next to or behind, is probably a better way, Penn State St. Joe's Hospital. So far, the largest turnout they've had for, I think, 4 or 5 plannings that have occurred before us have been 120 people. We would love to blow them away with an enormous turnout from Berks County. The tree is already planted. If you're familiar with the Heritage Center, it's in close proximity to the Canal Museum, the barn, and Epler's schoolhouse. I think it's a great location. Parking is obviously free. There's substantial parking. Again, that is Saturday, October the 26th at 2 p.m. Encourage you to come out for that event. The annual dinner dance, again, please, if you haven't been there, come on out. It is an incredible evening. The first part of the evening is music from the big band eras. I believe Swing Fever is the group that comes in every year. And the second part has DJ, more modern music for all of our ROTC members. Now, Wilson leads this, and their ROTC team leads this, but we have several other ROTC groups that come in from other public schools, and it's great to see the young people involved in that event. I'm going to stop sharing at this time. And one other note that I want to make, at the end of the meeting, you'll see a slide come up, and it lists the meetings, the upcoming meetings for the commissioners. There are some canceled meetings. The first one that's coming up that will be canceled is November the 7th. And we do that virtually every year because of everything that's going on with the follow-up of elections. There is no meeting on Thursday, November the 7th. The screen will show some of the others as well, so that information is readily available. That is all that I have. Any comments from our row officers?
I don't have anything this time, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just briefly, the over-counter voting. I did that this morning. It was easy. Ann and her team did a great job. Filled out a form, took a little bit. Then I got the ballot, was able to exercise. Plenty of room down there to vote. They've got it spaced out. So wanted to just mention that that worked really well, and for those that might consider doing that. And then lastly, just a comment on the Reading Aviation Expo. I went to that last year. Youngest son's interested in aviation, and it was a great resource. So once again, had been there, and anybody that hasn't been there, definitely worth their time. So
absolutely. One thing on the voting in person, that is not something new. Just so we didn't create that out of thin air. You've been able to do that, as I believe, pretty much as long as you've had absentee ballot. It just takes the process of the application, the review of the application, and if everything is correct, then giving the individual the ballot, letting them vote that ballot in a private area, and then submit that back in person. So that is not something that is new. I've had some people say, since when are we allowed to do that? They've been allowed to do that for quite a long time. So with that, we'll go to public comment. Is there any public comment in person? Okay, and nothing online.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. The meeting stands adjourned. We'll be back here in about 6 minutes for the election board meeting.